Hello, everyone. We're going to get started. I have two microphones because my words are very important. I don't know. I've never spoken to an audience with two microphones, so I can speak out of both sides of my mouth, I guess. Anyway, welcome, and thank you for making it out here on a beautiful summer evening. We've got a lot going on, a lot of hard work going on in this organization, both people in this room today and otherwise. So without further ado, why don't we get started here? And here's the agenda, just so you know where we're going, or at least maybe I'll remember where we're going. And we're going to start with, first of all, can anyone raise their hand if this is the first time they've come to one of our meetings, so we can welcome you? Welcome. Yay. Okay, and he is going to be introduced just now. If we go to the next slide, we're starting with two announcements, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Hillary Hershey.
I don't have enough hands for mics and clipboards and everything else. I'm going to introduce Lamont Wright. He will be running for District 3 County Commissioner. Lamont, due to administrative issue with the county election board, gave him some bad info. He did not make it on the Democratic ballot for the primary. So he is working on collecting his signatures to run unaffiliated for District 3. So I'm going to let him talk a little bit about himself. He could do himself much more justice than I can. So Lamont, you want to take over? And then I'm going to be sending clipboards around. If you guys would please sign his petition. He needs some more signatures. He's probably close to having enough now, but they have to verify the signatures. We want to make sure he has more than enough this time around.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good. I'm Lamont Wright. First of all, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a lifelong resident of Queen Anne's County. I was born here, raised here, right on Kent Island. I am also a waterman. I'm a 100-ton charter boat captain. I own a charter boat off the Hope Fishing Charters. I'm also a school bus contractor in Queen Anne's County. And also, I retired from Queen Anne's County. So I've been in Queen Anne's County all my life. So anyway, just a few things about myself. I'm here just to run. I have to run unaffiliated because of a little late issue. And then it was a signature issue with the election board when they told me I needed 132 signatures, which was 1% of District 3. So when I went to file, then they told me I needed 1% of Queen Anne's County registered voters, which was 400 and roughly 35. That was just a couple weeks ago. Nevertheless, I do have 500 signatures as of today. I do want to get a few more signatures just in case, because with all that I've been through, I just have a funny feeling that something else may change. And the deadline is Monday. So I plan on turning in the signatures tomorrow morning. So anything other than that, I'm here to run for the people of Queen Anne's County. I know a little bit I work for the sanitary district, which I know a little bit about the infrastructures based on growth. I want smart growth here, not just growth. I'm talking about growth that's gonna cause income to help, so it don't be so much on the taxpayers. Say, for instance, a developer come in, make him pay for some of the infrastructure, some of the streets, some of the roads, some of the water and sewer allocations, instead of it falling back on the taxpayers. So I know a little bit about that because, like I said, I work for the sanitary district and the infrastructure with the sanitary district. I know a little bit about the sewer allocations and things that they need. So just that's a little bit about myself, but anything other than that, I'm here to run for the people. So I'm very anal on kids, you know, so I do have a couple programs where I am a mentor for kids in Queen Anne's County. I meet once a month in Graysonville, trying to get the kids off the street. I started another program called Minorities on Course, trying to help to get their captain's license. So the watermen, it just won't be a dying breed, because it is right now. And we have a problem with some of that stuff because you can't even get licensed in Queen Anne's County anymore. So I want to, you know, fight with the state, you know. I want to just try to, you know, get things, you know, together for them. So the younger generation can come up and still be watermen. Everybody don't want to be a waterman. Everybody don't want to be a contractor. Everybody don't, but the ones that do, I'm here to fight for them as well. So any concerns that you might have, I'm a boots on the ground type of guy. You come to me, I go to them. I am a debater, so as being, I am a Democrat, but I'm running as independent, but I'll fight with all of them. I'm not here to run against anybody. I'm here to run as District 3 Commissioner. So I don't want to, you know, go back and forth with none of them. I want to work together. I want to work with the Republicans, with the Democrats. I'm not anal on the affiliations. I want to do what's right for the people. That being said, that's just a little bit about myself, and I know I'm on a time limit, so thank you. I'm here, and if anybody can help me sign the petition, I'll be in the back to help. Thank you.
And I'm going to close with one more thing. I've gotten to know Lamont a little bit over the last couple of weeks, and everyone I've talked to about him just raves about his moral character and his integrity. So I think that speaks volumes about him in addition to what you've just heard. So please sign his petition. When he gets on the ballot, please vote for him.
I just would like to say thank you for coming to our meeting, and we are going to have a forum for a local local candidates at our August meeting. We'll be talking a little bit more about that. We're going to have the D36 candidates as well as the Queen Anne's County Commissioner candidates, and I hope that you'll be able to join us for that. I also want to mention that Hillary Hershey has been on our steering committee since we started the steering committee back in the fall, but she has taken a break from our steering committee and is no longer working on ESI steering committee because she is now Liz Filter's campaign manager. So. So we hope to have Hillary back after a successful campaign in November. Okay, next is Valerie and Tom Hirsch. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to get to the nuts and bolts of our meeting.
The next person speaking has to have Hirsch in their name. Hershey, Hirsch.
Oh, right. I thought of that. I thought of that. We're taking a trip to Hershey Park next.
We are holding a fundraiser for Dan Schwartz, who's running against Andy Harris for the 1st Congressional District. It's going to be August 23rd, and Liz Filter has graciously offered her, is she here? Oh. Has graciously offered her bed and breakfast for, it's going to be from 2 to 4. And it's, the purpose of it is not, it is to get to know Dan, but it's to raise money for Dan because he's really running at a big deficit compared to Andy Harris, who has millions in his coffers because he is supported by people all across, by corporations and other organizations all across the country, whereas Dan is not taking that kind of money. He's taking it from grassroots organizations and individuals. You'll get something probably in your email inbox inviting you to come. There will be, obviously a requirement of a donation to come to the event because that's what it's for. So just keep an eye out for the email. And then lastly, I do have some Oh, there's one out there already. I have some Dan Schwartz signs and the metal part of the frame. If anybody wants some, I have a few in my car. See me at the end. Okay, any questions?
And also, if you get the invitation and it's a little too steep for you, you can still give money. But we do have to, it is a fundraiser, so we do have to, charge a decent amount to really get him up and running or continue to run. So,
All right.
and if you haven't been to Liz's place, it is worth every cent. It is beautiful.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you. And just to be clear, Eastern Shore Indivisible is not fundraising for Dan Schwartz. We're not involved in this fundraiser. This is a private fundraiser. All right, so here we go. Well, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but I'm sure you all know about the recent wins. What we are doing is working. We're chipping away, and he's losing, we're winning. We've had a couple of, finally, some good Supreme Court decisions, as you know. The birthright citizenship challenge or change or amendment to our Constitution was struck down by the Supreme Court wisely. And it is actually the removal of his name from the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, where... Here we go. So I'm going to turn it over to Marcia Peters, who is our treasurer.
Okay, you'll be glad to know that I'm not going to go over all of these numbers, but we agreed that I would do a quarterly update to let you know where we are on our fundraising, where we are on our expenditures relative to where we hope to be. I am going to give you a verbal update on some important numbers through today, but this is through June. So the big numbers to look at are, we have a budget for the whole year, and so you can see on that line, as of June, we were still looking to raise like $37,000 for our billboard project. Just staying on that line, my update is that $8,000 number is now $18,000, so we've raised some more money. So that means that we've got a goal of like $27,000. And another good piece of news is that this number, this $1,948, close to $2,000, is a grant we got from Indivisible National to pretty much fund our operations, that along with some recurring donations to Indivisible every month. That will pretty much fund us through the end of the year so that we can focus our fundraising on the billboards. So that's what that's all about. So that's pretty much all I want to say.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
That's very nice, but exactly what is a billboard per month? What does that cost?
It's not really per month, but it's a good question about how much the billboards cost. Our first billboard went up this week, and you're going to see a picture of it and everything, from July 27th to November 3rd, about $4,000 for that period of time. So it's not a monthly. We pay like one time, and it covers that period of time. We just, actually, one other update. We just signed a contract for a billboard to go up in Harford County. That's a little bit more expensive. The cost of it depends on the amount of time it's going to be up, depends on the location, et cetera. It's the same company we're using for the one we just put up. That one is going to be just shy of $5,000.
For 5 months, about.
Until November. Yeah, it's going to go up like in
August 10th.
August 10th. Okay. So Sylvia's going to tell us a lot more about the billboards. So there we are in finances.
Thank you, Marcia. We're going to talk about billboards in just a minute, and we will hopefully answer your questions about the funding. All right, why don't we go to the next slide? So there it is. Yay! Our billboard. We don't have to put a sample of Cambridge's billboard up any longer. And it is up on Route 50 near 404, and it will be there through the election. So that is our first billboard. But I should say that there are billboards across the district. Cambridge, Indivisible has put up 2 in Cambridge, 2 in Salisbury. Now we have ours, and Harford County is putting up 1 in Harford County. So why are these billboards important? What's the big deal? Well, have any of you been on, who's been on the Andy Files, the website? So if you haven't gone there, you need to go to the Andy Files, which was created primarily by Cambridge Indivisible. Michelle Faust, she's a genius. She put together a sourced record of Andy Harris's voting at Congress, his statements, and the impact of his actions or lack thereof on the residents of the district. And we are all working on updating it to indicate exactly what the impact is county by county. And so these billboards, the purpose of the billboards is to have people become educated, curious, what is the Andy Files, and go there, and maybe they'll learn a thing or two about what their congressman has done or failed to do on their behalf. So I'm going to turn this over to Nikki to talk about what we're doing with postcards.
We're still postcarding. We have a group that's been meeting bi-weekly since May, and we are averaging, I would say, 12 people a session. Some sessions have a couple less, some have a couple more. And everyone takes cards home with them too. And many of you who haven't been able to make the sessions have helped by writing at home. We're going to continue these sessions. The dates for them are in the back table and are in the newsletter that went out the other day. But we're going to move them to the evenings to give some of our friends who work during the day an opportunity. So we have dates in August and September right now. And we hope you'll join us. We have been writing to swing states. We finished Alaska, 1,000 for Alaska, 1,000 for Kansas. We still have 1,000 for Maine, but we're taking a little break to write locally. And we had this opportunity arise with Maryland 01 to grab onto 3,700 names and addresses that this group, Field Team 6, had come up with, had put together. These are unregistered voters in Maryland 01 who are likely to vote blue if they do register. And so what we're doing is working with Harford County, Cecil County, and Montgomery County, one of the Montgomery County groups, to get these 3,700 postcards in the mail very soon so that people can get out and register. There's also something else along that we learned from Field Team 6 is that they have 14,000 phone numbers for unregistered voters in Maryland 01. We think that probably means that it's like everybody has 3 phone numbers these days kind of thing, probably. Hopefully that's why the math is a little bit off. But right now, the coalition is working to try to secure those phone numbers to do some phone banking. So stay tuned. We'll probably add that to our repertoire very shortly. Text banking. Ooh, even better, text banking. Okay. All right, so I think that's it. We have packets of 10 in the back. They have the script, they have instructions. These can go in the mail right away. If you're able to stamp them and put them in the mail, great. If you would prefer just to write and hand them back to us, we'll take them back and we'll get them stamped, because some people are donating postage who aren't able to write all the time. But anyway, we hope you'll get involved and that we'll get this under our belt. Thank you.
We keep talking about billboards, and billboards are really, really important, but this is a multifaceted campaign. You're seeing yard signs, you're seeing, we know there's a andyfiles.com. Now imagine that we have a whole communications team working across the various chapters here on the Eastern Shore and in Hartford County to create messaging that can be pulled through consistently to all of these different places, right? So the messaging that we're working on kind of lives at the intersection of voter concerns, and we know that really it's about affordability. That should come as no surprise, right? It's about healthcare, both the affordability, or quite frankly, lack thereof, and the access to it. It's about veterans. Andy Harris voted against our veterans. It's stunning to me. About farmers and watermen, among other issues. But identifying those issues that matter to the district, those messages will then pull through to a variety of things we'll tell you about in the next slide. It's really about targeting persuadable voters. And folks, it may not be messaging that you and I need to hear, right? I'm presuming if you're in this room, you're likely already going to vote the way we're talking about voting. It's about reaching out across the aisle to unaffiliated voters or to Republicans who, quite frankly, are fed up, right? And there are Republicans that are fed up with this chaos. So that's who we're looking to reach. And we're trying to make the case for change, right? And for representation that really listens and shows up for the constituents and not the billionaires and the corporate corruption. And ultimately, this messaging will run across multiple channels, including digital ads. So let's take a look at what we mean by that. We want to launch an integrated digital ad campaign. Integrated meaning well-planned, strategically sound, consistent messaging that goes across many places. Again, to target persuadable voters identified by their party, not just Dems, by their voting history, their demographics, and their location. So think highly targeted, not casting the net wide, but highly targeted. We want to reach every screen that people are on, and we're on it a lot, aren't we? Phones, tablets, TVs, laptops, any kind of connected device. We live a lot in that world. It's multi-channel. So think of these ads as appearing in social media, our own social media properties and others, display advertising that might appear where you already are. So a few of you might be on ESPN, and lo and behold, we'd find you there, right? It could be that you're on WBAL, and we will find you there. So those ads pop up, they display where you are. They also find you because of your search. You go searching for information about access and affordability in healthcare. We're going to serve you an ad that targets that message because you're looking for issues that we've identified voters in our district may be concerned about. So truly targeted advertisements. So again, it could be online video too. So it's not just static ads, you're seeing those as static, but we could create small little video vignettes that roll out our messaging and find their way to where you are. I'm saying you, but it's really voters, unaffiliated voters and Republicans. This comprehensive digital campaign will, like I said, be very targeted and very powerful and persuasive and consistent with the messaging. But in order to do that, we need money. This is part of the entire effort. So think you drive by a billboard, you're probably curious and you want to go and look at the Indy files, but we don't know who did and didn't see it. It's really difficult to measure the success of something like that. A digital campaign like this, we will know very well that Marcia saw our ad, she saw it on ESPN, she clicked on it, she went to learn more. So we learn quite a bit about it. So very effective use of dollars, but it does cost money. So we're working with a digital ad campaign, a company right here on the Eastern Shore and in the District of Columbia. They have an office here to design this campaign and to roll it out. We want to roll it out starting in September all the way through November. So think, in addition to everything else you're hearing, we have targeted advertisement going to the voters we want to persuade. So folks, given all of this, you can imagine, next slide, we need your support. We need your support, and we need the support of folks in the room here, and we need your friends' support too, and your neighbors. And so you may know, and Sylvia, I hope it's okay to mention, but a number of us have been having sort of house parties too, just to start to connect among communities and bring people together who may not be members yet or involved in our organization, to tell them more about Indivisible and to tell them about this effort. So I've been, part of asking for support and encouraging you to support as you can, but also do share this information with others in your community in the event they're looking for a way to help. The way I think about, what's going on in our nation right now, sometimes I feel utterly powerless. I wonder if I'm alone in that, just completely unsure what I can do. And then I realized something. The fight for our nation is actually right here in District 1. Andy Harris is the head of the Freedom Caucus. I mean, we have an opportunity, I'd say an imperative, to fight hard for our nation by fighting hard in our district. And that fight is right now. So will you consider, please, scanning this QR code? It'll take you right to the Act Blue page. Give as generously as you can. No doubt you're getting targeted by lots of different fundraisers right now, but really, can you think of a better place to give than the district in which you live to unseat that guy? And to know that you're supporting an organization that's going to work as hard and as sufficiently and smartly as possible. We don't take a salary. We are all volunteers. Every bit of what you give will go to this campaign. So you just click the donate button, and then, or you can write out a check, and we can take that. Any questions? We appreciate your support.
Thank you, Lisa.
In the back, if you didn't catch that one.
So, what can we do besides fund our efforts here? There's plenty for all of us to do. As Michelle Obama would like to say, do something. So let's do something. We're going to start with phone banking, which I think is maybe easier for people to start out with. I am looking into some training on canvassing and trying to get the fear factor out of canvassing. But at our September meeting, which is going to start at 6 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock here at the library, we are going to be offering a dedicated session which will be zoomed out to anybody who can attend, and anyone in our coalition, all the other Indivisible chapters, will be invited to participate in the training. If you'd like to attend one of their trainings virtually before our September meeting, if you're not going to be able to make it or you just want to get started, you're welcome to take a picture of this slide and sign up through Mobilize for their August 19th training, or after our meeting, the September 16th training. I know it's not something people love to do, but I would encourage you to at least give it a shot, because it could make all of that difference. That one conversation that you had may convince that one voter to get out and vote, and maybe take their family members and others to vote. And it's going to come down to the wire. So every vote counts. Why don't we go to the next slide? So here are some resources for getting in touch with the Dan Schwartz campaign and working with them directly. I want to first talk about this virtual phone bank training, which they offer every Tuesday and Thursday night at 5:30. It's very brief training on their dialer, and basically you set up an account so that you can get into their dialer, and then you can take a look at their script before you start dialing. You don't have to start dialing at that point. You just now have access. And the way they've set it up is that once you have gone through this training, I'm going to use that word loosely, through that training, then you can, on your own, any day, I think it's from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., you can just decide to log in on your own wherever you are. You could be at the beach, and you could log in, and you can start, you have access to their dialer and their script, and you can just start making calls. You can call for 10 minutes, you can call for an hour, you can do whatever you want, as long as it's from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So you have that flexibility of doing it on your own. And then the other opportunity is to go to the Queen Anne's County Dems Club office on Wednesdays, and I believe they're from 2 to 6, and they have phone banking there, what I'll call in-person phone banking. So you're in a room with others, and everyone is phone banking. They do provide training at the beginning of each of those sessions as well. So, find that edge right at the edge of your comfort zone and start there. And if anyone has any concerns about phone banking, I'm happy to walk you through it and cheer you along. The other thing is the Schwartz campaign has offered to provide the scripts to us beforehand, so you can take a look at the script before you actually start phone banking. This is coming soon, August 28th. We haven't done any planning for it. We just recently learned that there is going to be another March on Washington on August 28th. I don't know. We will keep you informed as we plan for that event, but just wanted to let you know so you could, I believe August 28th is a Friday, so you can put it on your calendar. All right. And then, as Nikki pointed out, Postcard Power 2026 is running strong. There are the dates, and you should have gotten the dates as well in our newsletter in August and September, and they're all in the evening from 6 to 8 p.m. So if you're interested, you can do that. If you can't attend, I'm sure that we can get you postcards if you'd like to write postcards. And as Nikki mentioned, she's got postcards in the back ready to go. And we continue to have our book club and interesting discussions at each of the meetings. We usually meet every couple of months. The next book is Tyranny of the Minority, and if you haven't read it, I think it's really appropriate that you do so at this time. And we've come to the end of our meeting. The next meeting is August 25th here at the library. I think we're back in room 128 at 7 o'clock, and that's the one that we are inviting the local candidates to attend and give them an opportunity to address you and have you ask them whatever questions. We're also going to split up the time so that there will be tables on the side, and the candidates can go off to their various corners and you can interact with them one-on-one. And our Tuesday meeting is October 20th at 7 o'clock. Our goal continues to be to have our meetings the third Tuesday of each month. That's it. Does anyone have any questions? Well, I want to thank you all for coming and for all the hard work that's being done in this room by volunteers who work tirelessly. This is a group that it's not they volunteer 2 hours and then they go home. Our steering committee members are working with me Saturday, Sunday, Friday night. It doesn't matter. If it needs to get done, it gets done. And I am so happy and proud of this group and all the volunteers as I look.